Hi friends, welcome back to Inspo English. I'm Xavier KS, your English teacher. See friends, today I'm here to discuss a worksheet on preposition. Very often, the use of prepositions is confusing to both the teachers and the students. Provided you take care, you can use them correctly. I have chosen some 25 sentences for your consideration, and in every sentence there is a mistake, and we are going to read the sentence, analyze it, point out the mistake and correct it using the correct preposition. Okay, let's start without any delay. The first sentence, she is ill since 2 weeks. You know, 2 weeks is a period of time, but since refers to a point of time. So they don't go each other. She is ill since 2 weeks. When you refer to an action started at some time in the past and continued up to the present moment and still continued, we have to use present perfect. So instead of is, it should be she has been ill. Then what about since? I have already removed it. Since should be replaced by for. Length of time or period of time is always referred to by for, the preposition for. She has been ill for 2 weeks. So that is the correct expression. She has been ill for 2 weeks. When you come to the second sentence, it will be more clear to you. Okay, Anil has been ill from last night. Last night is a point of time, but from is used to refer to a period of time. Okay, from morning till evening, or from last Monday to Friday, like that. So here, Anil has been ill. Tense is correct. Okay, has been ill. Instead of from, we have to use since. Why? Because last night is a point of time. So Anil has been ill since last night. Third one, this is different to that. I think at the first reading itself, it's very clear to you. The preposition used with the verb different is different from, not different to. So this is different from that. Okay, different from that. This is the correct usage. Third one, the child resembles to its father. This to is actually not needed there. The child resembles its father. To speak about the resemblance, there is a very good expression, an idiomatic expression, and that is take after. We can very well say the child takes after its father. The child takes after its father. That's also a correct expression. Takes after for resembles. Both are right. Either you have to say the child resembles its father. Actually, this to is to be removed. That's not needed. The child resembles its father. Or you can say the child takes after its father. Both are right. Fifth one, everyone should pray God. Something is missing, isn't it? A preposition is missing here. Everyone should pray to God. Pray to God for something. Then send this letter on his address. It is not on his address. It should be send this letter to his address. This is the correct expression. On is wrong. Send this letter. Send a letter to somebody. Okay, not on his address, to his address or to her address. Send this letter to his address, not on his address. Seventh one, Raju goes in the school. Raju goes in the school. Here, I think you need an explanation. When you speak about the primary purpose of an institution, maybe a hospital or a school, whatever it is. Here in the case of this sentence, it is school. So, suppose Raju is going to school as a student, she should say, I go to school. Suppose Raju is a parent and is going to meet the principal there, that is a secondary purpose, or to visit a friend there, it's a secondary purpose, and then you have to say Raju goes to the school. In the case of a hospital, suppose you are going there as a patient to consult a doctor, then what you have to say is, I am going to hospital or I go to hospital. Okay. Suppose you are going there to visit somebody there, a friend of yours, then you have to say, I am going to the hospital. Okay. So coming back to the sentence, Raju goes in the hospital is wrong. Instead of that, you have to say Raju goes to the school or Raju goes to school. If it is primary purpose, of course, he can say Raju goes to school. If it is secondary purpose, you can say going to the school. So, the use of definite article the is optional. Okay. If you are speaking about the primary purpose, of course, you have to avoid it. If it is a secondary purpose, then you can use it. Okay. Coming to the eighth one, I will reply his letter in 2 days. I will reply his letter in 2 days. Here, I will reply his letter. I will reply to his letter in 2 days. That should be the, so a preposition is missing here. I will reply to his letter in 2 days. That is the correct. Other thing is correct. This preposition is correct, in 2 days. That means within 2 days. I will reply to his letter in 2 days. Ninth one. They were introduced with the chief minister. The preposition to be used with the verb introduce is not with, but they were introduced to is the correct one. They were introduced to the chief minister. Get introduced to somebody. 10th one. They suggested me to borrow money. They suggested me to borrow money. I think if the meaning will be different if I say suggested me to borrow money. That means they chose me as the person to borrow money. They suggested me to borrow. But if you add a preposition here, they suggested to me to borrow money, then the meaning is clear. That means their suggestion to me was that I should borrow a particular amount from some source. Okay, they suggested to me is correct. So the preposition is missing there. They suggested to me. They suggested me to borrow, that is confusing, and the idea is not very clear, and it has got another denotation. Okay. Then 11th one. Listen what I say. It's very simple. Listen to, a preposition to is listen to what I say. Listen to something. That is what we usually say. Okay. We prefer English from Malayalam. The verb prefer, that always take the preposition to. I prefer tea to coffee. Okay, very often we are confused. Prefer tea than coffee. Sometimes people are tended to use like that, but it's a mistake, it's a wrong expression. Should be we prefer English to Malayalam, not from Malayalam. Is a wrong expression. Should be we prefer English to Malayalam. That means we prefer English, okay, not Malayalam. There are certain other words where we always use to. For example, inferior, superior, junior, senior, elder, younger. After all these verbs we use to only. Okay, younger to, elder to, senior to, junior to, okay, and prefer to. We prefer English to Malayalam. 13th one, I plunged in the water. I plunged in the water is not correct. It should be I plunged into the water because I went deep into the water. Okay, so the idea is clear only when you use into. Okay, this is wrong. I plunged into the water. There is no use to try to explain. There is no use to try. There is no use in trying. It should be in trying. That is the correct expression. There is no use in trying to explain, not to try to explain. Then 15th one, he reached to Dubai. He reached to Dubai. Is the to needed there? No. He reached Dubai. Very often we use a wrong expression like he returned back. Actually in return there is a coming back. So there is no need of using back. In the same way, he reached to Dubai, not needed. He reached Dubai is correct. So to is to be avoided. He reached Dubai is correct. 16th one, Raju is addicted from. As I said, certain prepositions go with certain verbs that we have to understand and use it practically and own it up. Raju is addicted to, not addicted from. Addicted to is correct. Raju is addicted to smoking. Get addicted to something. That is the correct preposition. He told to me to do this. So this to is actually not needed there. You can avoid it. He told me to do this. This is true of the verb told. But suppose the verb is said, naturally you can use to. He said to me to do this, to do that. He said to me. But after told, we don't use the preposition. He told me to do this. Then 18th one. The teacher did not ask any question to him. The teacher did not ask any question to him. Actually, when there are two objects, direct object and indirect object, usually the indirect object is used first and then the direct object. My uncle gave me a fountain pen. Not gave a fountain pen to me. Okay, it sounds okay, but that's not the correct. There are two objects, direct and indirect object. So in that case, you have to use the indirect object first and then the direct object. So the teacher, then the sentence should be like this. The teacher did not ask him any question. The teacher did not ask him any question. So this part you can avoid. And avoid to the teacher did not ask him any question. The teacher did not ask him any question. So that to is not needed. The teacher did not ask him any question. Okay, now coming to the 19th one. The class begins from June 1st. Again, point of time is here. So from is not the proper one. The class begins on. So when there is a point of time, it should be on. On June 1st. Okay. The class begins on June 1st. From is a mistake. He will be cured from. After the verb cure, naturally the preposition used is cured of. Okay, he will be cured of his illness, not from. Cured of his illness. 21st. He has no chance to win the first prize. Just as in the case of 14th sentence. Here also, he has no chance of winning. Should be no chance of winning. Okay. He has no chance of winning the first prize. Not to win the first prize. He has no chance of winning the first prize is the correct expression. Then 22nd. He has resigned service. Something is missing, isn't it? He has resigned from service. A preposition is missing. It should be he has resigned from service. 23rd. The policeman caught him on the collar. That means he was taken under custody. Okay. In that case, it should be the policeman caught him on the collar. That is a wrong expression. It should be caught him by the collar. Okay, on the collar. Then 24th. Her face was covered by a kerchief. Kerchief is not going to cover her face. It is somebody who has done it. So it should be the policeman. Her face was covered with a kerchief. That means somebody covered her face with a kerchief, not by a kerchief. By agent. A kerchief is not the agent who did it. It is somebody. Her face was covered with a kerchief by somebody. Okay, so it should be by. I mean with, not by. By is a wrong expression. Her face was covered with a kerchief. And the last one. I have a child in my first wife. This is a sentence that very often people use in a wrong way. I have a child by my first wife, not in my first wife. I have a child by my first wife. So these are the 25 sentences I told you. I have more sentences chosen for you. I'll be back with another worksheet very soon covering another 25 sentences perhaps. Watch this video, go through it several times and make sure of the correct use of prepositions. Thank you for watching and bye.